Alright boys, in today's video, we are going to be beating floor 33 of Dungeon of Trials. It is brand new, and there is a Yama-P challenge right here. He challenged all of the global community to beat floor 33 of DOT within 1 day, and then everybody on global would get 15 gems for free. And it's done. I stayed up till 2 a.m. and immediately started running Dungeons of Trials. I went through the first 32 floors in about an hour, and then I got to floor 33 and beat it in 20 minutes. I was the third person to beat it, and there was a little bit of time where I was top on the leaderboard, but a couple people have since passed me. I have a minute 57 clear, so I think I was the first sub 2 minute, but some people out here running like Duke and getting a 147, that's crazy. And I don't have accelerator, so I don't even know if it's possible for me to get clears this crazy, but I tried my best. I got a sub 2 minute. I'm happy with it. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to actually beat it. So I'm going to assume if you have beaten the other 32 floors of DOT, you know how to play the game and you have a bunch of good units. So I will not be changing my units. I'm going to be using the best possible comp I can and running this. So I have Thoma, HK Roy, Chloe, and Platina. If you don't have this perfect setup, you can also run units maybe like Accelerator or Pencilgon, but you're going to want to use two different breakers of different elements. So we have Chloe and Platina because the final boss, Groitz, he has two separate halves of the fight. You have to break him to do damage, and in the first half of the fight, you can break him with anybody, but in the second half of the fight, whatever element did the most break damage in the first half will do so much less break damage in the second half that you pretty much need to bring a second breaker or you're just not going to complete it. You can also, like if you're going the long run, like if I swapped out Chloe, actually wait, that wouldn't work because then I wouldn't have an Archgen. If I swapped out Platina for like maybe Rimuru right here, this could work because Rimuru is going to constantly heal and cleanse the poison and provide status res, which will be extremely helpful on the first boss because the first boss will poison you a ton, and if you have a bunch of poison stacks, you will just get fried. And that's why if you go look at the leaderboards, a lot of people are using Thetis because Thetis has built-in poison cleanse. When you use his, I think it's his art and his true art, both of them have poison cleanse. I might be wrong, but if you just read his kit, it'll tell you. He has some sort of poison cleanse in his kit, so that's why there's a lot of clears with Thetis. But if you do have Thoma, I like doing it this way just because I think it's a lot faster, and it is very difficult, but it definitely works. And once you get it down, it's pretty easy. And then HK Roy, I feel like it's really hard to substitute him because he's HK Roy. Like, there's not a lot of clears without HK Roy. This one right here, I think this was somebody in my Discord. Shout out to bro, because I don't know how you beat it with this comp. That's crazy. Something like this. This is an extremely insane comp, and these two, like, great job clearing this without HK Roy because I don't think I would. Oh, this guy right here too. He used SGL and they were burning because on the second boss, there is ads that if you burn them, you get max HP up. So that can be helpful on the last boss who can envenom you. But the last boss will only envenom you if you're in the fight for too long. Like with this 2 minute clear, I did not get envenomed at all. I just killed him before he envenomed me. So you don't really have to worry about that if you're just going to be super fast about it. But if you're not, if you don't have the perfect comp and you might need to run a little more sustain focused, you're probably going to want to bring like a Rimuru. Rimuru is definitely the best option. Like I tried it with, where is he? Mizuki the 12th, but it didn't work nearly as well because Mizuki the 12th doesn't have a heal on his art. So it doesn't really work as well. this fight is extremely difficult. I'm going to be honest. So the units are very limited. It's going to be very hard to clear if you don't have like HK Roy. If you don't have Toma, it's still going to be pretty hard to do with Thetis. It's pretty easy with Toma just because of how crazy of a unit he is. But I don't think it's really going to be possible if you don't have two good breakers of different elements. Like, I know the second top clear is just a Duke, and I tried this comp. I don't know how he did this with just Duke, because on the final boss, again, he's going to not take as much break damage in the second half of the fight from whichever element did the most break damage in the first half. So he had to have broken the first half with Duke, and then broken the second half with water, and I don't know how he got that much break damage in such a short time, but whatever. So all I can really recommend is, for your tank, you can run pretty much any taunt tank. It's just going to be very difficult depending on who you pick. Like, you can run Kirasame, but you have to get into his super art right away, and that can be difficult, and you're probably going to want toe crests on him. And you can run Gamagori, but with Gamagori, you're going to have to be extremely careful of Envenom, because Gamagori has self-inflicting damage. So he's going to drain his HP no matter what. And then if you get hit with Envenom, you will just die through a barrier. It does just completely kill you. So be careful with Gamagori. With Thetis, you can use him. I tried him. I couldn't really get him to work. So I don't know how these guys are getting him to work, but I mean, he's an option. I just like Toma. I have this luxury, so I'm going to use it. HK Roy, again, I don't think you can really slot him out. Like, people are using Emp. You could probably slot in Hoka. I think on this clear, yeah, Hoka. Just a lot of them are using HK Roy. If you don't have some of the best units in the game, you're probably not going to be able to do this fight. It's very difficult. And then breakers, again, you can use like Duke, Platina, Chloe, Accelerator, Pencilgon. You might be able to use Aristella Orbis. You might be able to use Tornado. Not completely sure, but that's enough yapping. Let's get into the fight. All right, so to start, we are going to immediately get up the Toma art so that nobody gets paralyzed. Because if you do not get that up right away, the whole team will just immediately get paralyzed. And then we're going to spam our equips trying to get an HK Roy Phantom Bullet. And then as soon as we use this Phantom Bullet, a Super Art out of Toma, Super Art out of Platina for the crit damage, and a True Art out of Chloe for some Arts Gen. So here we're going to do a little bit more damage. And then once we get out of this, we're going to wait on these two. Wait till we get the HK Roy Super Art. Pop that and then use this art, because otherwise we're wasting Arch Gen right here. That's going to get us to our first threshold. And then we have a couple more arts to do here. We're going to use Platina's art here to give her attack up. And then right here, we're going to use another True Art. Do that. And then another True Art. And right there, that should take us to the threshold. And then because of Chloe, everybody's going to get 200 arts gauge. So we are rich now. And we're going to wait for this break bar to fill almost up. And then right about there, we're going to use these 3 super arts and just use his art. And then we're going to use Sure Halt and try to do as much break damage as possible. We don't want to... I should have used the Blessed Necklace earlier. That's my bad. Okay, there we go. We got to the break. We're going to use Raz here. And then should be able to... I'm going to use another art with Platina. And then on this final one, we should be able to nuke with Toma. He should just blow this up, right? Please tell me he whiffed so hard. Whatever. I'm not really trying to speedrun right here. I kind of am, but if I get a 2-minute clear or whatever, I'm not going to be too upset about it. It's not that big of a deal. So here we go. Cleared the first boss in 54 seconds. That's pretty good. The fastest I think I've done that boss is like 37 seconds, and that was like an insane run. So right here, we're going to get some more break res down. try and break this boss maybe once. I don't know. We do clear through the thresholds really fast. Okay, let's refresh the Archgen right there. Maybe get another True Art out of Platina here. Yep. Okay. We'll just use Gladius. Use an art. I probably didn't have to use that art, but it's fine. This boss is pretty simple. You kind of just blow through all of her thresholds. She doesn't really do anything. The first boss, you just need to be careful of the poison because if you get poisoned on the first boss, he is going to do a ton more damage and you do risk like just dying. Okay, there we go. We are on the final threshold. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, and then use a HK Roy Super Art. And that should be timed up pretty well. And then we are going to refresh the Archgen here. I want to get an art off with Platina so she does more break in the last fight. And then, yep, we are to the final fight, minute 30. And right here, I'm going to use a Thoma art. And then I'm going to use all my skills, use a Chloe art for more break res down, Platina True Art for more break res down, and then the Platina True Weapon will break the boss. And then we have HK Roy's second Phantom Bullet and a Thoma Super Art that should kill the boss, but we are also going to try and squeeze in this Platina True Art to try and get some extra break res for this half, because during this half we will not be able to do break damage with Platina, so it's a lot harder. Okay, and then we're going to wait a second. We're going to wait for Platina to actually get her arts drained to use my Kindle Chatter and then use it on her to give her some more arts. I think just for the sake of making this super easy, we're going to wait for Platina to come back up. Because usually I would just use Chloe right away, but it's a lot easier if we just wait for Platina to get some more break res down. And I messed it up. Oh well. Hopefully it still works. Okay, we have the Blessed Necklace. Okay, the only thing that we cannot let happen is Envenom. If we get Envenomed, we immediately die because I have a Thoma with 1 HP and his passive is already gone. So if this Arts Cage fills up, I am completely cooked. So we need to make sure we get out of here right now. Like, please, right now. Okay. Oh, we're good. Okay. And it's not going to be a sub 2-minute clear. It wasn't the fastest. It wasn't the best, but we got it done. And for the full clear, I can't even remember what I did. I'm pretty sure for the full clear, I think I ran the comp with Rimuru instead of Platina and then just slowly broke the final boss. It took me like, what did it take me? I think it took me like 5 minutes to do it with no deaths. And then I just redid it and did it faster and people died. I used a Blessed Necklace, but we still won. So there we have 35 million damage out of Thoma. This man is an absolute unit. This is one of my favorite units in the game right now. Like, he's probably my second favorite unit behind Okaroon right now. He's just so much fun to use. And so is Platina. Honestly, she's doing 14 million damage out here. We got HK Roy hitting for 16.5. Chloe hitting for 7.7. Damage taken, who cares? Recovery, who cares? Break. This is why I love Platina. She is just in a league of her own when it comes to breaking. It's ridiculous. She is so busted. I absolutely love this unit. And I'm glad that we're finally getting more content to use her in. Chloe, 354,000. Pretty good. HK Roy hitting for 100k is, I mean, that's a little unexpected, but it is welcomed. So that is floor 33 of Dungeons of Trials. It is a little tricky, especially that final fight. The way that I played it makes it a lot easier if you just nuke it right away. But again, you need to have the proper setup for that. If you don't have a Thoma, if you don't have HK Roy, if you don't have Platina, that's going to be very difficult to do. You're probably going to need to run a comp like Thetis. Without HK Roy, again, it's very hard. You might need to use BF Emperor. You might need to use Hoka. You might need to just get HK Roy because he is absolutely busted. And then instead of Chloe, you can use Accelerator. Again, these two breakers, it doesn't really matter which two they are. They just need to be different elements. And ideally, like if If they were both Archgeners, that would be insane. Like, I think a really good comp would probably just be Toma, HK Roy, Chloe, and Accelerator. Because you're going to get so much damage after the break, so much Arch Gauge after the break, so much break power up, just so much break, and it's just going to be insane. So I think that comp would be really, really good. Any comp is really good with just these insane units we have for late game, but if you don't have any of the combinations of the units that I listed, this fight might just not be for you right now. It's very difficult. Like, I don't know how this guy did it with this comp. It took him 6 minutes, but, you know, he did it. He did it. That's pretty good. How is he even healing? Oh, he had Nabe's headdress and Liza's smart skirt. So, if you do have to do it sustain, you might need to bring some support equips like that so that you can actually heal in Venom. Like, you can't cure it, but having equips like this will heal you. And that final boss does have HP auto recovery killer, so you cannot bring a healer, really. Like, Rimuru works pretty well. I'm pretty sure this is the comp that I used to beat it the first time. I might have used Platina instead of Chloe because their Archgen doesn't stack, but I don't really remember. I've just been trying to get leaderboard clears for the past, like, all day. It's been rough out here. The fastest I could do was a 157. I think that's where I'm going to stop. And maybe I'll have to revisit this if we get like Sayaka or maybe another insane breaker to pair with Platina. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below, did any of you guys beat floor 33 yet? And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. The link is in my channel description. And that's it. See ya!